Hey, good morning, class. So today we're looking at the paper one of Livingston High School. Was written many years ago. Where were you guys in 2012? Krish. Yeah, so we were busy at the study, and you guys were having good times. Right, so it was a 2 hour paper. It was 100 marks for the paper. So the questions they state whether each of the following is true or false. If false, give a reason or counter example, you explain your answer. The difference between two natural numbers is another natural number. False. I would say false. Why? Why false? Because a natural number is a number. No, that is our number. No? Natural numbers is without the zero. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So if the difference is to subtract, not so. What's 3 minus 4? Negative 1. Is that natural? No. So it is definitely false. In 1.1.2, they say P is equal to negative 3 and Q is equal to negative 5. Then 1 over Q, let's check. So it's going to be negative 1 over 5 is larger than negative 1 over 3. Is that true? Okay, so you say again it's false. So there's a counter argument. Otherwise, we look at and put it on the number line. That is 0. That is this is negative 0, comma 3 recurring, and that's negative 0, comma 2. Not so. So what comes first? 0, comma 2. The negative, and then 0, comma 3 recurring. So this is larger. So the answer is true. What does the memo say? Okay. Just look at the next one. 1.1.3. The square root of 2 times square root of 7 is a rational number. So the square root of 2 times square root of 7 is 2 times 7. The square root of 14. Is that rational or irrational? This is irrational. So the answer is false. Okay. So as I said, then the question says express. Okay, the question paper and memo can be found in the description box below. The question says express 0,218 recurring in the form of A over B. Now, you guys are not you are not told this, you are not required to do this with the exam, but because it is in the question paper, I'm going to answer it anyway. So if you don't understand, it's fine. So what I do is I say let x equals 0,218,218,218, and the number carries of course on till infinity. How many numbers are recurring? How many sets of numbers are recurring? 3. So I multiply this by 1,000. If it was 2 numbers recurring, then I will multiply it by, and if 1 number is recurring, I multiply it by 10. So it's going to be 218, 218, 218, and so on. So what I do is I subtract. So 1x minus 1000x is negative 999x is equal to, of course that cancels, leave you negative 21. So I divide both sides by negative 999. That cancels. So x is equal to, of course on a calculator, you get 55, negative 218 over negative 999. Gives us 218 over 990. And you get this. This is the biggest 0,21821 equals. Alright, you guys understand? Right, so let's carry on. Question 2. Number patterns. To study the number pattern below. So here we got 1. How many is here? 5. Here is 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 9. It's 7, not 7, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're absolutely correct. Oh, I was just looking at these two that was added. But my mistake, it is 9, absolutely. And then 13 is correct. Write down the number of octagons in pattern 5. So now this is now octagon. What's an octagon? It's a shape that has enclosed figure. It's made up of n amount of sides, which is the pentagon. And not the pentagon in polygon. But an octagon specifically is a 8-sided figure. Okay. So if this is your pattern now, how do I move from one to the next? Adding 4. Not so. So of course I must add 4 again. The 4 is going to give you 17. So pattern 5 or term 5 is of course 17. Write down the expression for the number of octagons in the nth pattern. So I use the formula Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1. Or I can use the formula which is more encouraged to great things for some reason or other. Tn is equal to Pn plus Q. Now your P is what you're adding all the time. Not so. So it's going to be 4n plus Q. So we put 1 in here. We put 1 in. What's 4 times 1? 4. But what do I have here? 1. So what must I do? Subtract 3. Not so. So it's going to be 4n minus 3. Did we test it? On the 4th term. So you say 4 times 4 is 16 minus 3 is 13, which I do it. Or you use this formula which I prefer. The first term is of course 1 plus n minus 1 times the common difference is 4. Get rid of the 4, so it's 1 plus 4n minus 4, so it's 4n minus. Alright, any confusion there? No? We're moving too fast. Okay, at this point you should have completed the paper already. So again, determine which pattern number will have 737 octagons. So in other words, we're going to calculate n here. Not so. So Tn, the nth term, is 737. Or, to put it in perspective, if you extend this pattern here, then which term will have 737 octagons? Okay. Now, of course, we're calculating n here. We now say 737 is equal to Tn, which is 4n minus 3. We get over becomes 740. Is that correct? Yes. It's equal to 4n. Divided by 4. So n is equal to 185 octagons. Okay. Or, sorry, pattern 185. Okay. In the next question we are asked for 2 marks, write down the next 2 terms in the following sequence. So what do you notice here? You move 1, you're adding 1, then 1, then you're subtracting 1. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. How do I move from 2 to 6 times 3? Then I times by 2. Okay. Yep, absolutely. I was gonna, what's the name of this one first? But okay, you're seeing it already. So you're gonna simplify. So it's a half, 1 over 3, 1 over 4, 1 over 5. Nice. Okay. So the next 2 terms are gonna be 1 over 6, 1 over 6. Okay. So it does not conform to a normal number pattern of ours. Okay. It does not have to always conform to it. Yes.
Like answer. Do you put a simplified answer or not?
The simplified answer is sufficient. Okay. Question 3. Determine the following products. So what do we do for products? Get rid of the bracket. Simplify. That's all. So what's negative 3ab times 2a squared? Negative 6a cubed b. Negative 3ab times negative third b. Positive ab. You want to agree with that? Right. Let's look at the next one. Again, find the product. You simplify. You multiply. Not so. So what is 2y times y squared? 2y cubed. 2y times negative 2y. Negative 4y squared. 2y times 3. 6y. Negative 1 times y squared. Negative y squared. Negative 1 times negative 2y. Positive 2y. Negative 1 times 3. So look now for like this. It's 2y cubed. So that one there, like terms. So negative 4y squared minus y squared is negative 5y squared. 6y plus 2y plus 8y minus. What's wrong? If you don't want 4 marks, you leave it out. No? You feel it's too many marks. I also think it's too many marks. I don't know like that. Alright, 3.3. People one of two ways. It's either write clockwise, multiply it out, or if you know the binomial square, you do that. So you square the first term. So it's 1 over 9x squared minus the first term times the second term times 2, and the last term squared, of course, positive 4 over x squared. See, this is a bit dangerous for me to do in my head, all the unnecessary stuff in my head, so I rather write it down. Okay, so negative times negative is positive, so which means to say this should have been, I shouldn't have written that negative there, not so. So I did accounting for the negative thing. Okay, so if it's next to, it's considered to be on top, not so. So that x would actually cancel this x here. You all agree with that? That's over 1. So 2 times 2 is 4 over 3. You all agree with that? 4 over 3 plus 4 over x squared. Is that correct? Sorry? 3x squared. Which one? The middle term or the end term? What? The middle term. I don't understand. What do you say? No, say. No, don't say. Say, please. You write that twice. Okay, so let's go with that quickly. So it can be written as 1 over 3x minus 2 over x. 1 over 3x minus 2 over x. Right. So tell me what you write in your next line. Correct? Yes. Minus 2 over 3 x squared. That's your mistake. You see, it's next to here. So, in other words, that is going to be 1x over 3 times negative 2 over x. You see? So, the x is actually cancelled and not leave you with negative 2 over 3x squared. So, again, you're going to get negative 2 over 3 plus 4 over x squared, which now gives you like terms there, which is negative 4 over 3 plus 4 over x squared. Okay. Any other confusion? Yes? The negative one there? So we just do that one again. You can just tell me what's the confusion. So in the first term squared, I'm using the binomial square rule. Okay? And then it's going to be plus that times 2. So it's going to be a third x times 2 over x times 2. And that is, of course, the negative there. Plus the last term squared, which is negative 2 over x whole squared. So that's going to give you 1 over 9x squared. You were okay with that one? So positive times negative. Negative. Now, that is over 1, not so. So 1 times 2 is 4 over. Now you see this x here. We'll cancel that x. Okay? So it will be 3 times 1 is 3 plus negative squared positive 2 squared is 4 over x. So what are you confused about? Yeah. But you see, when I did was I considered that negative already. So I put the negative. Then this, well, if I'm considering the negative there, then I don't write the negative inside this bracket. That was my mistake. It's either or. You do. Remember, when it's a binomial square, it will always be the sign of the middle of that term. Will be the middle term of the trinomial as well. Okay. Anything else? And this number here will always be positive. That will always be positive at the end. Right. Let's look at the next one. 4.2. That one sounds very tired. Or may I read it? Right, 12. He says yes. Okay, nice. Remember, when I mark your paper? Sorry? Did I miss 4.1? Okay, what is the sum for 4.1?
X minus y divided by x.
Okay. So number 4.1, x minus y. Yeah. Plus x plus y over y. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your LCM here? So mustn't this be a minus? No. So I must multiply this by y. This must multiply by? I will put a negative. So you got y into x minus y plus x into x plus y. Not so. So what do? We get rid of the brackets. So it's xy minus y squared plus x squared plus xy. This is all over. Can I cancel this here? Okay, so it's add like terms. So it's going to be x squared plus 2xy minus y squared over xy. Okay, any confusion there? Sorry about that. 4.2. Now if we look at 12, put in the calculator 12 equals shift, factorize. So that can be written as 2 squared times 3. I'm writing the products of its prime factors. So x minus 1 times 6 can be written as 2 times 3 raised to the negative x over 8, of course, can be written as 2 cubed raised to the 1 minus x. Now say you're sitting an exam that you forgot to calculate it. But your calculator doesn't have that key on it. What you do is you use this ladder method taught in grade 8. So 2 going to 12 6 times, 2 going to 6 3 times, and then 3 once. We're using the smallest prime factor, and that is exhausted. And then you take the next smallest one that's divisible by and so on. As you can see, the 12 can be written as 2 squared times 3. Okay. So of course, you want to get rid of the brackets by multiplying out the exponents. So 2 times x is 2x minus 2 times 3 to the x minus 1 times 2 is a 1, of course, minus x times 3 to the negative x, all over 2 to the 3 minus 3x. Right. So if we're multiplying it, bases are the same way, add the exponents. If we divide, of course, we subtract the exponent. So only the ones with a common basis can be brought together. As the 2 there, that 2, and the base has 2. Whilst the 3 here and that three's exponents can be put together. Okay. So that gives us 2, 2x minus 2 minus x. Now this is coming up, so I change the sign. So it's negative 3 plus 3x times 3 the exponent x minus 1 plus minus x, so it's minus x. Then that gives us 2x minus 2x. No, 2x minus x is x plus 3x is 4x. Is that correct? So minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5 times 3. And of course that cancels to the negative 1. You will agree with that? So it's 2 to the 4x minus 5 over. Is that the answer they got?
So what if you didn't do it as a fraction?
Sorry?
What if you didn't do it as a fraction?
Fraction is fine. Because what did the instruction say? What did the instruction? What did it say? Got to question 4? Did it read that simplify and leave answer with positive exponents?
Simplify. It does not.
No. It just says simplify. So then that means to say they won't penalize you if it's not written as a fraction. Okay. Okay. So if you stop there, you should get 100% for the question. Okay. 4 marks. People, let's look at the last question in 4.3. What's the difference between this sum and the previous one? The previous one had multiplication sign. Here we got subtraction. So what do we have to do here? We need to break up and factorize. We need to break up and factorize. So let's, you see all this bases of 4. So here in this case, I'm not going to write it as 2 squared. Can you see that? Otherwise, if this was 2 squared, then I would have written it as 2 squared. That's all. But only keep it as 4. So it's going to be 4 to the x times 4 squared minus 4 to the x times 4 to the negative 1 over 5 times 4 to the x minus 4 to the x. What can happen in the numerator? We can take out 4x as a common factor. This is not going to cancel people because of the plus or minus between them. 4x a common factor, I'm left with 4 squared minus 4 to the negative 1 all over 4 to the x into 5 minus 1. What's going to happen now? 4 to the x is going to cancel. People, what's 4 squared? 16. So it's 16 minus a quarter over 4. Okay, so what's 16 times 4? 64. Minus 1 over 4 must be divided by 1 over 4. By 4 over 1. Not so. Which is the same as 63 over 4 times 1 over 4. Which is 63 over 60. Oh, what they could have done was, how many marks is the sum? 4 marks. So I think they expected you to have gone through this. Yeah. Okay. So we'll give you 1, 2, 3. Yeah, then they expected you to have gone through this. Otherwise, people, if you're not comfortable, then you punch it in the calculator. Make sure you get the 1 mark. Okay. Yes. 64. 16. This was over 1. 4 times 16. You can test if we're correct. 4 squared minus 4 to the negative 1 over 4. It's 3 over 16. Which is good. So yes, right now. First step. Okay. So what we do is we can't subtract to add the same. So what we do is we take out the common factor. So if we got x to the 1 times x to 4, we got 4 to the x times 4 to the 5x plus 2. What will this be? 4 to the x plus 5x plus 2. That's right. When you're multiplying it by itself the same, we add the exponents. So if you work in the reverse, it's also true. Can you see that? So we got 4 to the x plus 5x plus 2 can be written as 4 to the x times 4 to the 5x plus 2. Okay. So what we do is we say, okay, if that's the case, we break this up into 4 to the x times 4 squared minus 4 to the x times 4 to the negative 1 over 5 times 4 to the x minus 4 to the x. What do you notice now? Common factor of 4 to the x. We want to get rid of the variable. So it's 4 squared minus 4 to the minus 1. Okay, as you can see, 4 to the x is common. And in the denominator it's common. So if you take this out, I'm left with 5 minus 1. From the, you don't know. No? Anybody else? Yes?
So you can also like written forward like 2 squared and then
Yeah, if you had gone 2 squared, that would have been 2 squared raised to the x plus 2 minus 2 squared raised to x minus 1 over 5 times 2 squared raised to x minus 2 squared raised to x. So it's 2 to the 2x plus 4 minus 2 to the 2x minus 2 over 5 times 2 to the 2x minus 2 to the 2x. We break this up, in fact, we break this up here. So that would simply be 2 to the 2x times 2 to the 4 minus 2 to the 2x times 2 to the minus 2 over 5 times 2 to the 2x minus 2 to the 2x. What is common in the numerator? 2 to the 2x. Then left with 2 to the 4 minus 2 to the minus 2 over 2 to the 2x into 5 minus 1. Cancel. And that now goes back into what we initially had. Okay. Anything else? Right, now it says factorize completely. Right, is there any common factor? That's the first thing we look for. Is there any common factor? No. Well, she said, here's what is common. Difference of two squares, dots. Not so. What's the square root of 16a squared? 4a. 1 plus 1 minus. Square root of 25b squared? 5b. Okay. You want to agree with that? Let's go to the next one. What type of factorization here? What type of factorization here? Trinomial. No common factor there. We add or subtract the product. Subtract. The factors of y is 1 and 1. Put in 1 and 10. Too many? We add or subtract the product. So subtract them. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 5. There's x squared, so it's x and an x. What about our signs? Different signs. 1 plus 1 minus. The bigger product is the sign of the middle term. So it's going to be minus. Okay. The next one. This is the difference of cubes. Well, is a common factor first. Not so. What is common? 2. I'm then left with y cubed minus 8. So we go 2 into. So the cube root of y cubed minus 2. Cube root of 8. The sign will be the sign in the binomials bracket. We take the first term and you square it. What do we get? Y squared. So this is plus, minus, so this must be opposite sign always. And 2 times y, y. And this is the last term squared, so it will be positive. Okay, that last term will always be positive. Well, this trinomial here never factorizes into rational roots. Or will always be imaginary. Real roots will always be imaginary factors. So never try and factorize that trinomial. People, question 5.4, 4 terms. So we're going to do factorization by grouping. You're either going to group 3 then 1 or 2 and 2. So you can see clearly here we need to group it 2 by 2. Not so. As you can see 2 is common there. If I put a bracket around a minus b, I'm not changing it. Not so. What is common in this in the 2 terms? 2. What am I left with? B squared minus a squared. So what do you notice now? What can be done here? Difference of 2 squares. So it's going to be a minus b plus 2 into b minus a and b plus a. But what do you notice? It's almost the same. Not so. But what's the issue here? You got a minus b. In the second term, you got b minus a. So what I'm going to do is swap around and change the sign. So it's going to be a minus b minus 2 into a minus b into b plus a or a plus b. That doesn't matter. What is now common? A minus b. What am I then left with? 1 minus 2 into b plus. Whenever do we have a bracket within a bracket, so we get rid of the brackets. It's a minus b. I'm left with 1 minus 2b minus. Okay. Quite a bit of marks here. How many marks? 5 marks. What? 4. What's wrong with you? You say 3, give me a shock. Okay. Right. Okay, what's going to happen here? What can happen in the first step? Common of 2. And they left with x cubed minus y plus. We put a bracket around here, don't change the value. In the first bracket, what can be done? Difference of cubes, not so. So it's 2 into, what's the cube root of x cubed? X minus y. First term squared is x squared. It's negative, so that has to be positive. X times y. Last term squared. This must be added to x minus y. So what do you notice now? The common factor of x minus y. And I'm left with 2 into, if I take it out, I'm left with 2 into x squared plus xy plus y squared plus 1. Whenever we take out the whole term, we left with 1. Do I stop here? No. You never have a bracket within a bracket as I'm final answer. It's going to be x minus y into 2x squared plus 2xy plus 2y squared plus 1. Okay. Any confusion there? Yeah. Number 6, 6.1. Question says simplify completely. 8 marks. So where do we start? We take difference of 2 squares here, not so. We're going to swap that around first. And then take a difference of 2 squares, so it's going to be x minus 2, x plus 2. Sorry? Why is it 8 marks? Why do I swap it around? Because if you look here, descending powers of x, descending powers of x, descending powers of x. So that is ascending powers of x. So it's either I change it now or I have to change it later. Okay, so the factors won't cancel. So it's a negative e. Okay. We're looking at this denominator. What factorization here? Trinomial. Okay? So it will be x and x, 3 and 2. The bigger one must be plus. So that's this division. We change to multiplication. Then what do? Number 8 times. You will agree with that? So let's look at the first one. This is of course going to go to the denominator. What type of factorization there? Common factor of x. I'm left with x plus. That can happen in that common factor of x. I'm left with. Now what can happen? Cancels. X minus 2 cancels. X minus 2. X plus 2 cancels. X plus 2. X plus 3 cancels. X plus 3. The x cancels x. So what we left with? Only the negative. So what we write is going to be negative 1. Yes? Can I call you? What is saying? Yes? Negative 1. You see, if we look at this term, it was 4 minus x squared. If I factorize this, it will be 2x minus x and 2 plus x. Which then means to say, for this one to have cancelled with that one, I needed to swap this around. Then the negative comes out. This one doesn't matter. 2 plus x cancels x plus 2 anyway. You understand? So there, that is that. Okay. But what I did was I just said, okay, you got 4 minus x squared. Swap that around, negative comes out. And then I took the difference of 2 squares one time. And then that is what I would do. Okay. Anything else? Right. Let's look at the next one. So 8 marks. Yo, just too many, no? Alright, so what's gonna happen here? I need to sort out my denominators there. Not so again I need to swap that around. Can you see that? When I swap this around, what's gonna happen? Negative is gonna come out. So it's 4 over x minus 1 plus 3 over x squared minus 1. Well, what type of factorization here now? Difference of 2 squares. Which will give us x plus 1, x minus 1. Minus 2 over, what type of factorization there? Trinomial. That's just perfect square trinomial. Which now can be written as x minus 1 squared. Or you could have written x minus 1 times x minus 1. What's your LCM now? The LCM is x minus 1 squared and x plus 1. Not so. So this can be all written in one denominator. When do I drop the denominator? This is an equation. This is not an equation. This is an expression. We ask ourselves, okay, what must this be multiplied by to get the LCM? X minus 1, x plus 1, which is the same as x squared minus 1. You all agree? Plus. This here? X minus 1. So it's 3 into x minus 1. And this one here? X plus 1. So it's negative 2 into x plus 1. So from here, it's just a matter of getting rid of the brackets. It's going to give us 4x squared minus 4 plus 3x minus 3 minus 2x minus over x minus 1 squared into x plus. So what do you see now? Like terms. Okay. So, we got 4x squared plus x. What is minus 4 minus 3? Minus 7. Minus 2 is negative 9 over x minus 1 squared into x plus 1. Did I make a mistake? Where?
Again, say it's 2x, not 2.
Oh, good. So it will affect where we stand now. So that's 2x here. Of course, an x there. So we give it 2x squared minus 2x. You all agree?
Yes.
Alright, thank you. Good girl. Good girl. Why you stopping so late? Should have almost been home already. Right, so we got 4x squared, so we're going to now look for like terms again. That's all. So 4x squared minus 2x squared, 2x squared. 2x minus 2x, 3x minus 2x plus x. Minus 4 minus 3. Minus 3. And there's no way that this trigonometry can factorize, not so? So that's your answer. You all agree? Are you agree? Good, nice. Well, question 7, equations. It's a beautiful paper, no? Easy. Imagine. Right, so where do you start here? Get rid of the brackets, multiply. So what do we get? 3x minus 6 minus 5 is equal to 2x minus 7. Now what? X is one side, numbers are the other side, since it's linear. So it's 3x minus 2x is equal to minus 7 plus 6 plus 5. Then x is equal to 4. Not so? Let's look at the next question. Seven point two. What's your LCM here? LCM is 6. Now I drop my denominator. So I just multiply that by 3. So it's 3 into 3 minus 4x. Plus, this will multiply by 6. So 6 into x. Equal. That will multiply by 2. So it's 2 into 2x. Is it in the brackets? So that will give you us 9 minus 12x plus 6x equals x is one side, numbers the other side. So it's minus 12x plus 6 minus 4x is equal to negative. Okay. So it's going to be minus 6 minus 10x. Not so? Divided by negative 10 both sides. So x is equal to 9 over 10. Positive 9 over 10. Okay. Let's carry on. We watch your LCM here. Here it comes with the restriction now. Ne? LCM is 6x. What's my restriction? X can never be equal to 0. So why didn't I have a restriction in the first case? When the previous sum, sorry, is because there's no variable in the denominator. There's no x's and y's in the denominator. It's only when it has a variable in the denominator. So what was the first one we multiplied by? 2x. So it's 2x times 2x. It's equal to, we multiply by 3. So it's 3 by 3. So it's going to give you 4x squared is equal to? What do I do now? So 9 over. So the 4x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. What's going to happen now? Difference of 2 squares. So it's 2x plus 3, 2x minus 2. So x equal to negative 3 over 2 or x equal to 3 over 2. And it doesn't infringe on the restriction or the restriction. Okay. You got 9 over 2. Huh? How did you get 9 over 2? What did you do? Squared. So you got this answer here. You got 4x squared equals 9. If I introduce square root, what must I not forget? Plus 1. The square root of 4 is 2. X equals plus minus 3. Now divide by 2. Therefore, x is equal to plus minus, which is the same. Okay. Next. That must be done first. Binomial squared. So I square the first term. What do I get? X squared. That times 2 gives you negative 2x plus 1 is equal to 4 plus x squared plus 2. Now what do you notice? If I bring that x over, it becomes x squared minus x squared. Not so. It will cancel. So it becomes a linear equation. Okay. So x is one side, numbers the other side. So negative 2x minus 2x is equal to 4 minus 1. So negative 4x is equal to 3. Divide by negative 4 both sides. X is then equal to negative 4. Okay, any confusion there? Okay. Yes? Brought this negative, this 2x over the equal sign. So it's negative 2x minus 2x. The 4 stayed there. I brought the 1 over. So I got minus 1. Anything else? Next one. 0.5. What type of sum is this? Quadratic triangle. So you need it to triangle. So together what? So x squared minus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Trinomial, of course. 1 and 1, 1 and 5. Subtract, you get 4. So it's 1 and 1, 1 and 5. X and x. So it's minus plus. What do we say? X plus 1 is equal to 0. So x equal to negative 1 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. X equal to. Alright, so let's just check what we got left. Only question 8. So I'll just finish it up. Otherwise, I want to do a short video on it. So I'll do it in the next lesson. But I will post it later. Will enjoy the weekend and the rest of your day. Good morning, class. Yes. As promised, we're just going to wrap this up quickly. So in 8.1, the question says solve for x and y simultaneously. So one of two ways, I can either do it by elimination or by substitution. So I'll just put one over the other, so it's elimination. Minus y is equal to 22. So we add 2x plus 5x is 7x. That of course cancels. 6 plus 22 is 28. So how do I get x on its own? 7 both sides, not so. Therefore x equal to. Okay. So what I do with this is I substitute that into one of the previous equations. So whenever I say x, I put that 4 now. So it's 2 times 4 plus y is equal to 6. 2 times 4, 8. So y is equal to 6 minus 8, which is negative 2. So x is 4 and y is negative 2. You can also test it in on the other equation. You can say, okay, 5 times 4 minus 2. 5 times 4 is 20, minus 2 is plus 2. It's 22, as you can see. It works. Okay. Okay, with 8.2, in 8.2 we are told that the perimeter of a rectangle, is, okay, so how do you calculate the perimeter of a rectangle? No, that's area. 2 length plus 2 length. Perimeter is equal to 2 length plus 2 length. So when we teach you this in grade 8, don't think it's unnecessary. Okay, everything has a purpose while we teach it to you. Okay. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 454 centimeters. If the rectangle is if the length, is 27 meters more than the breadth. So we say length, the breadth equal x. So what will the length be? It's going to be 27 more than. It's going to be x plus 27. Can you see that, people? The question says calculate the area. How do you calculate the area of a rectangle? Length times breadth. Okay, let's go. The perimeter is, of course, 454 equals to, my length is x plus 27 plus 2 times your breadth, which is 8. So from here, it's a matter of solving for x. So 454 is equal to 2x plus 54 plus 2x. So you get over the equal sign, so it's going to be 400 minus 454 minus 54 is 400, and 2x plus 2x is 4x, divided by 4 both sides. So therefore x is, that's the breadth, not so. But the length, of course, is going to be x plus 27, which is 127. You all agree with that? So what's the question? The area. How do you calculate area? A times B. So it's going to be 100 multiplied by 1 to 7. So it's 1 to 700. It's 12,700 centimeters square. Okay. The last question. We are told that tickets for a movie cost 20 Rand for school children and 30 Rand for adults. Altogether, 450 tickets were sold at the cost of 10,500. Okay, should be an income. Okay, but anyway, determine how many school children bought tickets for the movie. So where do we start off? We say let the number of children who bought tickets equal x. So if the children bought it was x, and the adults would be how many tickets were sold in total? 450. It will be 450 minus x. Okay. So the income made of school children is 20 multiplied by the number of children. Not so. The income made of adults is going to be 30 multiplied by the number of adults. And together that income, the grand total, is going to be 10,500. So from here, it's a matter of solving for x. These are the brackets. So it's going to be 20x plus 0, 0, 15, 1, 12, 13, minus 30x is equal to 10,500. So that, of course, is going to give you negative 10x is equal to 10,500. 10,500 minus 13, yes? What? Exactly. Negative 3,000. See, but I don't have that zero there. The zero doesn't have a place value. Do the same. Good morning, miss. Thank you.
I'm still fine, Kim. I'll keep her so now. We'll just go to the set as well.
Thank you, miss. Grade 12 0 minutes. There it goes. And of course, divided by 10, both sides are going to get 300. So 300 of the tickets were school children. Okay. So that basically brings us to the end of paper 1. The question paper and memo can be found in the description box below. Okay. Let's take this out. Save.